Welcome back. Well, it can only happen to me. I uploaded the videos from my camera to my computer, and it was only then that I found the position of the camera virtually did not pick up much at all in showing you guys how I sculpt babies. So I've taken the camera off the tripod and I've tried it now in this position, and it means I have to start all over again, which I'm not impressed about, but so be it. This is one of the ones that we're working on, and I had to scrap, and this is the other one, both of which have not been yet baked, which I showed you how I did them. Okay, so yeah, we shall commence again, and hopefully this time we get it right. I tell you, this camera and I have had big arguments over this. I have to keep tapping my fingers to see whether you can see what I know. This is ridiculous. All right, now what I said in the last time I tried, I used Living Doll polymer clay, which has got quite expensive nowadays, so you can't afford to make too many mistakes with it, I can assure you. But sometimes, through no fault of the retailer, it's more a manufacturer fault than retailing fault, we get, get the clay and it's too soft and squishy to work. I better move you because you'll be squished to work with. So what that generally means is there's nothing wrong with the clay, it's just the manufacturer put in a little bit too much plasticine, and the method in which to rid yourself of that, or rid the clay of that, is to wrap it in baking powder. Baking paper. Cut the bar in half and then just get your paper and wrap it in the paper, and eventually, not long after I can assure you, you'll get what looks to be wet paper. And it's not wet, it's the plasticine that's been leaching out of it. Once you've done that, the clay is beautiful to work with. Now, this does not happen only with Living Doll. It can happen with any clay and with any manufacturer of the clay. So it's not a big deal, but if you don't know about it, it's very, very hard to work with squishy clay. Now, I also have found that if you don't do that with the minimising the plasticine, you will get cracks in when you're baking them in your work. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Now, I have worked with lots of different armatures, right? The most economical way, and of course with everything being so expensive when it comes to silicone doll making, and obviously you start off with sculpting, you try and economise as best as you can. These little heads would probably make 7 to 8 inch babies, so I do suggest you start off with your small babies if you're a learner. I mean, I still make them because I love them. I love babies of any shape or size. Because, of course, obviously, for obvious reasons, start off small and work your way up, because it's going to cost you less in materials for a start. And you're still learning. It's exactly the same, only on a bigger scale when you're making the bigger babies. So, we shall commence. Don't know how far we'll get today too, because I've been on quite late. I should have moved this tripod from here. Never mind. What I use is quite simply aluminium foil. And if I were going to make a head about that size, I never measure things size, so you're just going to have to a bit of this and a bit of that, right? And it will come to you too. It'll come to you that way as well. You won't be measuring once you've had a lot of hands-on experience. So we just fold that up, or scrunch it up into a ball, and make sure it's fairly tight, like so. And hopefully now on this side of the camera, or the positioning of the camera here, will help with seeing better. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so we're just going to cut a piece of clay, and we're going to do what is called conditioning the clay, which is basically just giving it a good squish all over, and until it becomes soft and pliable. Don't forget this has been leached, so it's not going to be, you know, like too soft to work with. Anyway, I'll do that off camera to save time, and I'll come back and show you what we do next.